Well, I would appreciate that, Father Doyle. Of course. Well, I'd like to hear from you on this as soon as possible. Uh-huh, I understand. Well, then I'll call you back in, say, 2 weeks. Good. Thank you very much for your help. Damn little help it was.
The annulment isn't going through?
The annulment is sitting. It's not moving backwards, but it's certainly not moving forward either. I need that statement from Dee.
But from what you said, you may not get it. Is it absolutely essential?
Ray, I'm asking for an annulment now on very unusual grounds. I'm saying that Dee was so sick, so desperate to find a place where she felt safe that she wasn't truly marrying me, but using me to marry into the family. Now, in Father McShane's opinion, that constitutes fraud, which is legitimate grounds for an annulment. But apparently, the papers I have on file with the Chancery just aren't good enough.
Frank, what happens if you can't get your annulment?
We might not be able to get married.
Well, there's always a civil ceremony.
Well, a civil ceremony wouldn't cut much ice in the eyes of the church or my parents.
Yeah, a lot of your constituents wouldn't approve of it either.
Well, mostly, I think I would have trouble with it.
You? Really?
Yeah, really. I'd consult Father McShane, of course. I'd consult my own conscience, but it would be very, very difficult.
This really is very important to you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I didn't want you to worry about it because I thought I had valid grounds, and I don't know, I guess I expected them to give it to me.
I know. And, of course, if your parents are having trouble accepting me now as a future daughter-in-law, their resistance is going to be even stronger if we just get married in a civil ceremony.
That's about it.
So we don't even consider it, huh?
No. Are you hungry?
Huh?
All of this is making me hungry.
Nah, I just lost my appetite.
Well, I am going to grab something to eat.
Okay.
Hello.
Mrs. Coleridge, please.
This is her. You got her.
Delia, it's Ray Woodard.
Oh, hello, Ray.
If you're not too busy and it isn't inconvenient for you, I'd like to take up a few minutes of your time, if I may.
Well, I guess so. When?
In about 5 minutes. I'll be right over. Frank, I'm going out on an errand. I'll be back in a little while.
Ray?
Yes, Tom?
You in here?
Yes, here I am.
I'm getting very good at this. All you had to say was, yes, Tom, and I found my way straight to you.
That's wonderful. Shows what a good student you are.
What a wonderful teacher you are. How are you feeling now?
Oh, much better, thank you. I am improving, really.
No, if I didn't know better, I'd swear Faith was in the room. I can smell her perfume so clearly.
Well, it's a very concentrated scent. I was just admiring this room.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Like something out of a magazine. Faith left some of her things out on the bed. Do you think I should hang them up?
Poppy, is everything all right? What's this?
It's a nightgown of Faith's. I was just holding it up to see how it would look in the mirror. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I looked in the room and everything looked so pretty and I just wanted to feel what it would be like being here. And the gown really was on the bed, really. But I really shouldn't have touched it because it's not mine and I had no business touching it.
Poppy, would you stop, please? You haven't done anything wrong.
I shouldn't have come in here. But after all the places I've lived...
No, I understand. You know, when I came here first, it was like being in a museum.
Yes.
I was terrified I'd bump into something, knock over a beautiful piece. You know, I've done a bit of that since I've lost my eyesight.
You make me feel so much better.
Good, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Would it be very bad of me if I were to ask you not to mention this to Mrs. Desmond?
Well, that isn't necessary.
I'm just so afraid she might be angry and ask me to go back to the boarding house.
Poppy, will you just concentrate on getting well and don't worry about that. We'll worry about plans for you later on.
Well, I can't go back there anyway because this morning I got a note saying that they'd already rented the room.
Well, then there's no point in even thinking about it. Now, just relax. Stop worrying.
You are the most wonderful man I have ever met.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far. Well, maybe I am.
Please don't make fun of me. I mean it.
Thank you. I wasn't making fun of you.
You can tell Mrs. Desmond anything you like. I know you'll be fair.
Thank you. How about some afternoon tea?
Wonderful. I'll make it.
It's done. Come and see.
Well, you must have just run over here to get here so fast. I just hung up the phone.
I want to thank you for seeing me.
Well, I was curious. A high-powered lady like yourself, with your newspapers and television stations, asking if it's convenient to come over.
I need your help. It's that simple.
You need my help.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sit down. Would you like some tea, or can I get you a drink?
No, nothing at the moment. Thank you.
Well, if you want anything.
Thank you. Let me tell you what I do want, Delia. Now, as you know, Frank and I are getting married.
Yes.
And, of course, we could have a civil ceremony, but it's Frank's and mine and his parents' fondest wish that we be married in the church.
Oh, sure. I can't see Frank getting married outside of the church. He's so straight arrow.
Well, now, this means that he needs an annulment, and we need your help in obtaining an annulment.
Oh, you want me to write that statement that Frank's been asking for?
Yes, I do. It's of the greatest importance to me, and I completely understand that it is not of equal importance to you.
Well, I'm not what you call one of the interested parties, no.
No, not now. However, I've been wondering what we can do to make it more of interest to you.
Why don't you just tell me straight out what you have in mind?
You're a very bright girl, aren't you?
Well, what were you going to say?
Well, I've been considering the annulment from your point of view, and one thought keeps coming back to me, which is your son, Little John.
Yes, and he is my son.
Absolutely. I wouldn't dream of trying to take him away from you.
Except you're trying to take him to Washington.
Well, Frank feels that we have to establish a home for him there. And as I understand it, you and Dr. Coleridge are not going to be seeking custody of him here.
No, but that doesn't mean I want him out of the city.
Well, let's just say that did have to happen. Now, what could I do? How can I make it more acceptable to you?
I don't know. How could you?
Well, let me try to put it another way, Delia. Let us say that you sign the statement enabling Frank to get his annulment.
Yes, I know what the statement's for.
Would $50,000 compensation make up to you for whatever losses you might experience or the inconvenience of having little John down in Washington?
$50,000?
Well, I really do hate to offer money, but I can't see what else I can offer you.
Ray, I may not be in your category, but I'm certainly not in any breadline myself, you know.
Of course, I know you've had a lot of luck with your commodities, but $50,000 is not that bad, is it?
You seem to be forgetting one thing. You may be able to buy Frank with your political clout and making him a senator, and maybe you can buy Maeve and Johnny, although I doubt it, but my little boy's not for sale.
Delia, I really was hoping that you would be able not to think of it in this way.
When I think of all the times you've lorded it over me, made me feel small and weak and powerless, and now you come over here and you expect that everybody's got a price?
You are getting in the way of Frank's and my happiness. Now, all I am doing is trying to find whatever arguments I can muster.
So that's your argument, cold cash.
Well, if there's anything else you'll take instead.
Listen, you may be the sort of woman who's willing to buy another lady's baby, but I'm not the sort of woman who'll sell.
Right. Well, it's been charming, and thank you so much for the offer.
You think your money gets anything, don't you? Well, in this case, you're wrong.
Delia, if you ever decide that we do have something to discuss, you know where to find me.
Look, my baby's not for sale today, tomorrow, or ever.
Faith, is that you?
Well, who else could it be?
Oh, I thought I heard you come in. How's your day?
Well, I was busy, productive, and I'm glad to be home. How was yours?
Oh, it was okay up to a point. Though if I don't get back to work soon, I think I'll go out of my mind.
You know, I love coming home and finding you this way.
Well, I must say I feel much better. You know, there is something that I'm a little concerned about.
What?
Well, you know, Poppy has been a great help. And in fact, it's because of her that I can do things myself and get around.
I know, she's been wonderful for you.
Well, she's having a bad time financially. In fact, the room that she was living in is gone. They sent her a note this morning to say that they rented it out. Faith, how would you feel about her staying with us till her loan is paid off, so that when she does leave, at least, well, she'll be in better shape financially?
I think it's a good idea.
You do?
Well, not taking anything away from what you can do for yourself, I think it's a good idea to have someone else in the house while I'm away.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
And, Poppy has a way of being helpful and pleasant, at the same time inconspicuous. No, I think it's fine.
There will be a loss of privacy.
In this big house?
Okay. And as soon as she's recovered, I'll get her to teach me Braille.
Well, why don't we tell her right now?
Oh.
Poppy?
Yes, Mrs. Desmond?
Do you have a minute?
This is very good of you, Faith. You're a generous lady.
Tom, it was your idea, so you'll have to accept being good and generous yourself.
Okay.
Yes?
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Poppy, Tom and I were just talking, and we are wondering if you wouldn't like to stay on with us after you're well, or at least until your loan has been paid back.
Me? Stay here?
Yes.
Oh, it would make me so happy.
Well, then it's settled.
Oh, Mrs. Desmond. Tom, I want you to know that while I'm here, there's nothing I won't do to pay you back. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
$33,000. Yeah. Yeah, well, look, Mr. Grimley, I couldn't come up with that when it was $5,000. I missed... Next 24 hours. Yeah, yes, sir. Oh, yeah, sir. I'm sorry, too. What is it now? He's given me 24 hours, and then he turns it over to their attorneys.
Hi. I just came over to see little John. Is he all right?
This is Mrs. Shaw's giving him a bath upstairs.
What's the matter with him?
You ought to know. You started all of this. Leave him be, Delia. It's very bad.
The commodities, I know. But Kevin, why won't he accept my money? He knows I'd do anything to help him and Maeve.
You should know John is a very proud man. His damn cocoa futures are dropping and he can't get out.
Well, I really want to help him, so please ask him to come out and talk to me for a little while.
John, if you don't mind, Delia wants to have a word with you.
Okay, Dee. What do you want?
Kevin suggested you don't want to accept a favor from me, no matter how much trouble you're in.
Well, I tell you, it's always been hard for me to ask for things.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that you are in trouble.
No.
Well, what I was wondering is if maybe I could help you through some sort of business arrangement.
What kind of a business arrangement?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how much trouble you're in.
Well, I'll tell you. There's a $50,000 lien on this place. That's the money it took to send Ireland to start up the Caleri farm again.
And that was a very generous thing of you to do.
Yeah, well, I also owe Mr. Grimley $33,000 for my commodities
30?
losses.
Oh, Johnny, how could you...
Well, I thought a cut-off order would be automatic after the first time. So $83,000 is my situation.
Would it help you if I were to lend you the entire $83,000?
Well, sure, it would help, Dee, but how can I accept a loan like that from you?
Well, we'll make it some sort of business arrangement. Now, if I were to lend you all that, then you should give me something in the way of security, right?
Of course I should, but what have I got? I've just got this place.
Well, that's it then, isn't it? You just sign the place over to me and then you buy it back in regular monthly payments. Or all at once if something wonderful happens, anytime you want. You could pay me, say, $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month? That could take 7 years.
Or 7 months, Johnny. You never know, you might win the lottery. Think positive.
This place is like my whole world here.
I know it is. That's why I want to save it for you. I love you, Johnny. Besides, Roger's been telling me I should get some of my money into a small business. Are you afraid I'll take too much of the profits?
Profits?
Because I won't. I only want a fair return on my investment. I could take only, say, 20%. How's that?
You'd be entitled to at least that much.
At least. And Maeve would never have to know.
No. She couldn't know. That's essential.
It's our secret, I swear.
I don't know if I could live with that. I mean, for all practical purposes, you'd own this place. You could give me orders.
But why should I want to interfere? I had the same interest as you, to have business be good. That way you could buy it back sooner, maybe.
Well, you'd have suggestions.
Oh, sure, I might, but that won't amount to much.
No, Dee, I don't think I could live with it. I'm sorry.
Johnny, you're really hurting my feelings. You wouldn't take my money when I offered it as a straight loan, and now you won't even take it as a business arrangement. I'm only trying to help you.
Well, look, I appreciate it, Dee, really.
Well, will you think about it, please?
I will think about it, I promise.
See if you don't think I'm really being fair and generous.
Sure.
And tell little John I came by to see him, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So long.
Should have taken the straight loan the first time she offered it.
Too late now, anyway. Kevin, how could I stand that? Delia as my boss.
mandatory spelling. Grab your croissants and don't forget the latte. Spend the whole morning with me in bed.
Breakfast in Bed with the OC, One Tree Hill, and Beverly Hills 90210 every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on SoapNet.